Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for. You've been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. And buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't.
Welcome to New Wine Podcast. Today we are going to be looking at a very important issue in the scripture that I think brought a lot of us into a level of being a victim instead of being a victim. In the book of Luke chapter 1 verse 60, the Bible said, "But Elizabeth spoke up and said, 'No, he has to be named John.'" Verse 61, "What?" they exclaimed. "No one in your family line has that name." I'm speaking today on the topic, the power of no. N-O, no. Many times when we look at the events that attend our lives and the many troubles that we have found our lives in, we discover that most of it, a greater part of it, is because we have not been able to say what we are supposed to say, how we are supposed to say it, and when we are supposed to say it. The word no is one word that God has inscribed in the human alphabet to be able to exempt us from many troubles. The ability to say no had delivered many people from many troubles in this life. But you would agree with me that many times, because we do not want to offend somebody, we do not want anybody to feel offended or to feel that we do not appreciate them, we do not honor them, we do not love them, we keep saying yes and yes and yes. And many times too, that yes has brought us into the problem that we find ourselves and the trouble that had attended our lives. Look at the life of the mother of John the Baptist, also known as Elizabeth. As at this moment, the husband is deaf and dumb. The husband cannot speak, and John the Baptist cannot defend himself. The only person in that family who had the right and was in a better position to have defended the young innocent child and the now deaf and dumb husband was Elizabeth. And the entire family had gathered to give a name to an innocent child, or properly so to say, to take a decision on behalf of a family. Now everybody had decided that the child ahead of time should bear the father's name. But somebody had got to say, no, that is not right. And that person was Elizabeth. Thankful to her, she was bold, courageous enough, audacious enough to stand up and say, no, rather his name shall be called John. Everyone else probably has said yes, except the mother. You and I would agree that that ability to say no by the mother had changed not only the name of that child, the destiny of that family, but also the calling and the prophecy of God upon John the Baptist, because God had already said that his name shall be called John. How disappointing it is that so many people on earth now answer names they are supposed not to answer because they could not say no when they are supposed to. How unfortunate it is that so many things happen in so many people's lives because they could not look at somebody's face and say, no, that does not belong to my assignment, that does not belong to my calling, that does not belong to my destiny. Or no, I do not have the capability to do that, I do not have the time to be involved in it. Or no, I do not have the finances to be able to get that done as at this time. Many times we say yes to things that we are not available, that we do not have the resources or the powers to be able to get involved in. And at the end of the day, we look at how burdensome the thing had been to us. Men and brethren, let me tell us today that One of the easiest way to make your life meaningful, one of the easiest way to have freedom in life is the ability and the power to say no. If you look at something and discover that you do not have what it takes to handle that thing, be bold enough to say no. Courage means you have the powers and the ability, and you are audacious enough to say no to something that you know is not within the ambits and the parameters of your own destiny, of your own calling, of your own capacity, and of your own ability. If your ability cannot handle it, be bold enough to say no.